particularly some of your personal views in terms of Brexit. If I can cast you as a Remainer, I don't think I'll be too far off. But Brexit is upon us. It's very confusing. The public have had enough of it. It's always in the headlines, but it is happening now.
Yeah.
Is it going to be very messy and painful? Are we going to be heading into a recession, in your view?
I think there's two dimensions to Brexit. One is the future trading relationship with Europe, and I think a lot of, particularly manufacturing businesses in the Midlands are very anxious about that. Are they going to face tariffs on their exports? Are they going to face tariffs on their imports? That stuff, I really hope the government sort that out. And logically, there ought to be a deal, but we don't see the outline of it now. Then there's a sort of broader question, which is what is the impact on the economy as a whole? I don't think there's much doubt that Brexit has caused the economy to soften somewhat. We are now the slowest growing of the major economies, whereas a couple of years ago we were the fastest growing of the major economies. That's not good news. Employment's held up. What I hope is that if we can get a sensible deal on trade, that we minimise the adverse impact on Brexit. As you say, I was a Remainer, and I do think that there is a negative impact on the economy. But if we can get a sensible trade deal, then we can probably make that a modest impact. I think the economy will grow a bit more slowly than it did before. At the moment, we do not detect signs of a recession. We are detecting a slowdown in investment, so the demand for loans from the bank is weaker than we thought it would be. And it appears that people are delaying investment plans, etc. But we're not seeing an incipient recession. We're not seeing a real collapse in consumer spending or a collapse in consumer confidence. So at the moment, we're bouncing along at around a 1 to 1.5% growth rate, which is not what we'd hoped and not what we'd expected, actually, pre-Brexit, but it's not a disaster.
Could we fall off a cliff, do you think? I mean, is there something nasty going to happen?
Well, it could do if there's no deal. If there's no deal at all, then I think you could find that quite a few businesses decide that it's just too complicated to be an exporter from the UK and decide to go somewhere else. You could find quite a few businesses in the city, financial firms deciding to headquarter themselves somewhere else. So you could see a cliff edge if there is no deal struck between now and the end of the year.